Last week on How to Get Lost in WA, we were in Karijini. We spent our last glorious day in Karijini checking out Hancock Gorge and Weno Gorge and the notorious Handrail Pool. If you haven't seen that episode yet, hit that link above and go check it out. So for the last couple of days, we've been hanging out in Port Hedland. We spent 2 nights there just regrouping and cleaning up all our gear after Karijini, and now we're heading out to Broome. I'm not going to yammer on too much today, but we're in Broome and I am sick as a dog.
Yeah, it's yet to work out what it is.
I have no idea what it is. I got a crazy bad headache and I've been like vomity and nauseous all day. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, you haven't got me in the picture. We've got a sick girl on board at the moment.
I haven't got any better overnight, but I don't think I've really got worse. I'm just in a lot of pain, so we're going to head into the Broome doctors and see what's going on. I don't think it's anything serious. I just think, I don't know, something's wrong with my tummy. I've been cramping all night. Every couple of hours I would wake up with severe pains. Oh my god, ow.
This is even hurting you.
So yeah, we're just gonna go check it out. Hopefully I'll be better by tomorrow so I can actually go and do some stuff in Broome. So I'm very excited about being in Broome. So a long and painful morning landed us in the Broome hospital. The doctors weren't really sure what was wrong with my tummy. All they knew is there was something big and ugly and painful that needed to be looked at. They sent me in for a CT scan and still couldn't work it out, but kept me in overnight. I was not very happy. But I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty nice sleeping in a real bed with real sheets and having our very own TV. That was probably the highlight.
We've been here all day since 9:30.
The next morning, I basically begged the nurse to let me go.
Oh, please. Can I go home?
And she said I could leave as long as I looked after myself for the next few days. Freedom!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you're looking a lot better this morning, aren't you?
Yeah, I still feel gross, but I'm a little better.
Yeah, but I think it's time to do some actual activities today, isn't it?
Yes.
So we're going to go down to the cemetery and then we might actually go for a swim at Cable Beach since we didn't do too much of that yesterday and my breath stinks.
Your
That's
breath is
awful. So I'm going to drink this tea and then I'm going to brush my teeth. And then we're going to get our day going, aren't we? And you're going to give me a kiss because it's good for the...
So we just got distracted at the park in Broome where the airport is because a huge plane was taking off and we were super confused about what was going on. It turns out, I googled it, that a couple of days ago on the 14th of May, the Boeing 737 that was going from Bali to Sydney had an electrical fault and it had to make an emergency landing at Broome. So we didn't hear about that side of the story. But the whole entire town of Broome just gathered at the park to watch it take off, and it took off completely fine, and you'll see the footage, which was pretty anticlimactic, but it was a big plane.
Yeah, that was a huge plane for a small little town.
Yeah, literally the whole of Broome turned out to see it. They had to close off the road that like has the flight path. They basically closed off like the entire strip of road so it could get out, but it took off easy. It took off halfway down the runway, so they did really well. But I'm pretty sure it was empty because it would have been too heavy to take off. But anyway, we're now here at the Japanese cemetery, and we're gonna go see the Chinese cemetery as well and go to the museum. So we don't quite know what this is all about yet, but we will definitely give you some info as we learn it. So this is the Japanese cemetery, and the area has both Japanese, Chinese and Muslim cemeteries based on the cultures that were peeling here back in like the late 1800s. This Japanese cemetery in Broome is actually the largest Japanese cemetery in all of Australia and dates back to the very early pearling days. The first recorded intimate in the cemetery is 1896, so it's incredibly old, and literally hundreds of young Japanese divers died either from the bends or from drowning. So now that we're absolutely sweaty and gross from wandering around the cemeteries, we're going to go into the museum and just find some context about what we just saw, because we've sort of done it backwards. We were going to go to the museum and then the cemeteries, but now we're going to go to the cemeteries and the museum.
Yes.
So we're going to get some context and check out what all this pearlingness is about in Broome.
Pearling became a big part of Broome's history back in 1861 when pearls were first discovered in Nickel Bay in the Pilbara of Western Australia. By the early 1880s, attention was focused on Broome and its rich shell beds at 80 Mile Beach. By 1881, boats began to arrive in Broome. People bought diving suits, bronze helmet, lead boots and diving apparatus, and it became a massive deal. The diving though was super dangerous in the waters of the Kimberley, where divers faced cyclones, sharks, crocodiles, ear and chest infections and the bends. So many young pearlers died. The Broome Museum was actually way cooler than I expected. It also had a lot of information about the dinosaur footprints around the area, which we're checking out in the next episode, as well as Indigenous artefacts and the sailmaker's shed, where I tried my hand at tying some knots and sufficiently sucked at it.
And the time starts now. Why do these hands look so real? Is that the weirdest thing I've touched?
This actually feels like skin.
So we're at Cable Beach and Kieran's trying to find a car park, and this place is bedlam. There is so many freaking people here. Can't get a car park anywhere.
Due to the whole getting sick thing, we actually didn't utilise Cable Beach as much as we wanted to, but Cable Beach is what Broome is renowned for. It's where the camels walk along the water and where all the beautiful photos of Broome come from. It's exactly what you expect it to be. It's a super popular place to come and watch the sunset, so we grabbed some pizzas and headed down.
So Hannah's got a thing where she's learning how to landscape.
And I get distracted by
She gets distracted where that's the landscape and she is... But what are you taking?
Moon.
A moon? No. Actually it is pretty big. She took a bit of convincing, but she finally turned around and started shooting the sun.
Thanks for watching, guys. Next week we're still in Broome and we explore more of the beautiful town. We go on a search for some dinosaur footprints and have some luck. And we also check out the infamous Matzo's Brewery and try our hand at some chili beer. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment and a like if you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next week. Bye!
On a stick.
Look, a beautiful tail.